Welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to unpack the exact roadmap to get you from being a broke student all the way to hitting your very first big financial milestone and actually building lasting wealth. We're cutting out all the noise today to show you, step by step, how to make this a reality, literally from scratch. So how exactly do you make 10 grand from zero? It's the ultimate question, right? I mean, so many young adults and aspiring entrepreneurs ask this when they're stuck in that super stressful cycle of having zero capital. Look, when you have no money and no qualifications, building wealth feels totally impossible. Like, where do you even begin? But trust me, there is a highly focused, totally proven blueprint on exactly where to start.
Instead of stressing about making millions right out of the gate, setting a smaller, much more achievable target, like $10,000, is absolutely crucial. And why is that? Well, because it acts as your proof of concept. That first 10K is famously the hardest money you'll ever make. But once you hit it, man, your entire mindset shifts.
Because once you hit this target just one time, you prove to yourself that making money is actually a skill. It's not luck. It isn't just about having that cash sitting in the bank. It's this huge realization that you have the ability to generate income on demand. And that exact skill, that's what you can scale up into lasting wealth.
So here's our agenda for today. First, the 10K target. Second, finding the right hustle. Third, the 10K skill pyramid. Fourth, the power of reliability. And finally, number 5, investing your wealth safely. All right, part 1, the 10K target. Why this specific number changes everything. First things first, you've got to completely ignore the noise of day trading or, throwing your money at the latest meme crypto coin. So many people jump into these hoping to get rich quick, just because some online guru made a crazy promise. But the harsh reality, these strategies require massive cash reserves up front and, honestly, incredible luck. Those are tools to multiply your money way down the line. They are definitely not a reliable primary way to build your initial capital.
Moving right along to part 2, finding the right hustle, choosing the optimal vehicle.
Okay, so to actually build that initial capital, you need a hustle with seriously low upfront costs. When we break down the main options, you realize pretty quickly that in-person services really limit you to your local area. And global products, things like dropshipping, they tend to trap all your cash in endless inventory cycles. But then you have online services. This is the real game changer. They combine a massive global reach with insane 70 to 80% profit margins that go straight into your pocket from day one.
Now, to figure out exactly which online service you should offer, whether that's copywriting, video editing, running ads, whatever it is, you need to find the sweet spot between 3 key questions. What are you actually good at? What do you enjoy learning about? And what problems do businesses consistently struggle with? The key here is not to spend years trying to perfect a skill in secret. Instead, set your prices just a little bit lower at first and literally earn while you learn through real-world experience.
That brings us to part 3. The 10K skill pyramid, how to level up your vehicle.
This entire process comes down to a simple 4-tier skill pyramid. And honestly, this is the absolute core of our explainer today. This is the exact framework that transforms a basic high-income skill into a true $10,000 engine. We've got positioning, leverage, reach, and automation. And here's the kicker. If you miss just one of these steps, you are going to stay stuck at the bottom. You'll be working incredibly hard, but you'll never actually break through to that big milestone.
Let's zoom in on that leverage step for a second. You absolutely must stop charging for your time and start charging for the results you bring. Think about it. When you charge per hour, you're just another expense. You are easily replaceable. But if you shift your pitch to focus on the return on investment, the ROI, and prove that your social media strategy or your Facebook ads actually drive real sales, suddenly you become an incredibly valuable asset. Clients will happily pay you significantly more because you're literally making them money. Then we have reach. The days of desperately chasing clients are over. You have to make the opportunities come to you. Our source material shares this wild story about a graphic designer who simply started posting these cool movie-style posters on TikTok just for fun. It wasn't even a serious side hustle at the time, but his videos totally blew up. His inbox was suddenly flooded with direct messages, and he landed massive client deals. So put your work out there, show your before and afters online, and let the clients come to you. All right, part 4, the power of reliability, the secret to getting paid again and again.
This brings us right to the final and honestly, the most frequently failed step of the whole pyramid, automation and reliability. It's crazy, but 95% of young entrepreneurs fail before they even really get going, simply because they miss deadlines. The people pulling in the real money aren't necessarily the most talented in the room, they are the most reliable. It's that simple. Being organized builds trust, and trust is what secures that repeat business.
The absolute most successful people out there, they aren't relying on a bunch of messy sticky notes or scrolling through endless Instagram DMs to figure out what they need to do. They use automation and CRM tools to manage their entire workflow. Using a system to track your clients, visualize your expected revenue, and effortlessly schedule your calls, it's a total game changer. It ensures you never, ever miss a deadline, and you always look incredibly professional to your clients.
Okay, let's dive into our final act. Part 5. Investing your wealth safely. Turning income into long-term wealth.
So, once you've actually made that first $10,000, please don't just go out and waste it on designer clothes or a crazy car down payment. It all comes down to a 4-tier scale for investing. It starts right at the bottom with the absolute essential safety net, a high-yield savings account. This is so you never have to sell off your investments at a loss if an emergency pops up. Then the risk moves up through low-maintenance index funds, hands-on individual stocks, all the way up to volatile, high-reward crypto assets. And let me tell you, here is the true magic of Tier 2. By investing just $5 a day, that is literally the cost of skipping one fancy coffee, into a broad index fund like the S&P 500 starting at age 18, historical average returns suggest you could actually retire with over $1 million. Think about that. It is an incredibly powerful, low-maintenance way to build serious wealth over time.
Now, for the higher risk tiers, individual stocks are fantastic if you want some hands-on learning, but you really got to stick to small amounts while you learn the ropes of the market. And as for cryptocurrency, it is highly, highly volatile. If you choose to invest there, you need to use a smart, slow strategy, like dollar-cost averaging. That just means you invest a set amount on a regular schedule, totally regardless of whatever the current price is, just to smooth out that wild risk.
Which brings us to a really profound mindset shift. Honestly, you aren't truly successful until you understand the fundamental difference between being rich and being wealthy. See, the rich view their income purely as something to spend on their lifestyle. But the wealthy? The wealthy use their income as a tool to generate even more money.
Which leaves us with a final, absolutely crucial thought for you to consider as you step out of that broke cycle and into your own wealth journey. How do you plan to use your next paycheck? Because when that first $10,000 finally hits your bank account, what exactly are you going to do with it? Are you just going to spend it, or are you going to use it to build your financial future? Because let me tell you, that choice right there, that changes absolutely everything.